Okay, the next pattern I'm going to show you is the two-piece dress pattern. So firstly, what you need to do is trace off the close-fitting bodice block only to the waistline. Okay. Then what you need to do is, on the centre front, you need to drop the waistline by 1 centimetre. This allows for the bust and movement in the fabric. So if you drop it by 1 centimetre like so, then you need to draw a diagonal line from that point from the front to the back waistline like so. So you're creating a diagonal line joining those 2 points together. Okay. Once you've created that line, you need to extend your darts down so they now join the newly lowered waistline. Like so. Then you need to mark points 1, 2, 3 and 4. So starting on the back centre back there is point 1, the side seam at the back is point 2, the side seam at the front is point 3 and the centre front line is point 4. These are indications for the next set of measurements. Okay, I find it easier to construct the outer shell of the pattern first and then work internally. So the next measurement we're going to use is the waist to hip measurement, which is 58.5, but this, depending on your design, that will change. But because we're actually creating a two-piece dress and dividing the bodice and the skirt together, we do need to leave a channel approximately 5 centimetres in width in order to kind of create the front and the back and the skirt. So in total it'll be 58.5 plus 5 centimetres. So you need to extend the back line by 63.5 centimetres. Like so, and extend the front. So you need to put your ruler on the original waistline and extend the front by the same of 63.5 centimetres. Okay, you need to join both points together to create the new hemline. So. Okay, now from point 1 we need to measure 5 centimetres down the centre back line, like so. And on the centre front line from the original waistline, 5 centimetres. You need to join those lines together. And mark them 5 and 6. So this is point 5 and this is point 6. Okay, now we need to mark in the hip line. So point 1, from point 5 we need to measure 20.6 centimetres, which is the UK size 12 standard measurement from the waist to hip. 20.6, and from point 6 measure 20.6. And join those 2 points together. You need to mark this as your waistline. Right. Moving towards the hemline, you need to mark, on the hip line you need to mark these points 7 and 8. 7 on the back and 8 on the front. Moving to the hemline, you need to mark in point 9 and point 10. From point 10 to point 9, you need to take a midway measurement. So the total measurement of that is 49 centimetres, so half of that is approximately 24.4/5, mark point 11. And then from point 11 you need to square up to the hip line. Like so. And mark point 12. Okay. Okay. Now, to locate points 13 and 14, you need to measure, so directly under point 2. So if you put your central line of your pattern master on the waistline, if you measure approximately 1.25 centimetres up, which is directly under point 2 there, and mark in point 13, and then do exactly the same with point 3, so directly under point 3, but 1.25 up from the waistline, you mark point 13, 14. Okay. Now, because we actually need to kind of create the waist on the front, which is slightly shorter than the back, allowing for the dart, you need to measure approximately 2.5 centimetres in from point 14 to create point 15, which will be your side seam, the start of your side seam on the front. Okay. And then what we do is you need to draw a curved line. You can actually start with a guideline. I need a French curve. That's not big enough. Got anything curved? Oh no, I'll just draw a straight line, Lucy. Okay, so from point 5 to point 12, 13, you draw a straight line, and join point 6 to point 15, joining those, and then join point 12 with point 13 with a slightly curved line. It's not big enough. So if you draw a straight line from point 12 to 13, midway between point 13 and 12, which is approximately 22 centimetres, so 11 centimetres in, put the central line, 90-degree line on the new straight, this is your foundation scaffolding, 0.5 outwards, and then curve from point 13 to the midpoint, and then curve from point 12 to the midpoint.
So what was that you've just done? Sort of.
That's just kind of creating a curve for the hip.
Because it wasn't, the pattern master wasn't big enough.
Yeah, you generally use the French curve for that. You know, the
Right.
big metal ones. So what I do in that case, I always do a straight line, and then approximately 5 centimeters, 0.5 outwards,
Okay.
just to kind of give a curve. So do the same, point 12 to point 15. So midway should be 11 centimeters approximately. Then measure outwards, 0.5 centimeters, and then use the curve of the pattern master to create a curved seam on the skirt. Like so, and then tidy up using your pattern master.